Here in Canada, our government, in fact, most of our political class and most of our mainstream media, is, I believe, deeply out of sync with the majority of Canadian people. In a recent poll, almost 2/3 of people said they want the Canadian government to recognize Israel's actions in Gaza as a genocide. And at the same time, our Prime Minister continues to insist that a future Palestinian state must be a Zionist one, a bizarre talking point that demonstrates just how out of touch our ruling class is. What explains this chasm, this asymmetry that enables and locks in the most searing injustice of our age? For surely it is the power of a story. It's a deeply colonial story, a tiny, noble country locked in intractable conflict with a threatening, violent, fundamentalist people who are not like us at all and represent a threat to our way of life. This is how Israel and Palestine have been represented in our culture since at least the 1950s. And in Canada, one of the most powerful forces today locking in this fundamentally racist and colonial story has been the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs. CIJA's lobbying efforts have had a huge influence on how this story shapes our culture, law, and conversation in Canada. And of course, the accusation of anti-Semitism leveled relentlessly against those who speak up or act in solidarity with Palestinians, and the narrative that it is actually Jewish Canadians who are most at risk, most in pain, most unsafe, most victimized. This is painfully absurd. In an important way, this report is the product of our long-standing frustration as a group of Jewish scholars at pro-Israel lobby groups claiming to speak on behalf of the Jewish community as a monolith. For many decades, pro-Israel Jewish organizations have been suppressing aspects of Jewish identity, politics, and scholarship that are critical of Israel and Zionism. So the next time there's a loud, peaceful protest in support of Palestine, and CIJA describes it publicly with words like a violent, anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas mob, we hope that journalists will pause and think critically before transcribing it. We hope that policymakers and public officials will not continue to accept those kinds of words unthinkingly. We hope that politicians will speak out against this warped and damaging story in greater and greater numbers. We hope this work can be used to seed a different story, one that recognizes the fundamental humanity of Palestinians and the hateful, harmful impact of propaganda that denies that humanity and provides cover for genocide.